Welcome to the English learning community. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode. Today, we're diving into something truly special, a story that's not just going to improve your listening and writing skills, but also inspire you to take your English to the next level. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get started. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was speaking and you just couldn't catch everything they said? Or maybe you were trying to write something, an email, a message, or even a story, but the words just wouldn't come to you. Trust me, we've all been there. But here's the good news. Today's episode is designed to help you overcome those challenges. We're going to explore real-life stories and examples that show you exactly how English is used in everyday conversations. These stories are packed with practical vocabulary, natural sentence structures, and tips that will boost your confidence and fluency. By the end of this episode, you'll not only understand English better, but also feel more comfortable using it in your own life. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a few questions. These are meant to get you thinking and set the stage for what's coming next. As you listen to today's episode, keep these questions in mind. 1. Have you ever felt nervous about speaking English because you were afraid of making mistakes? 2. What's one situation where you struggled to understand someone speaking English? 3. When you write in English, do you sometimes feel like you're missing the right words? These questions are more than just food for thought. They're the foundation of what we're about to explore. The story you're going to hear today is all about overcoming fear, embracing mistakes, and finding the courage to keep going. It's about real people, real challenges, and real growth. And trust me, by the end of it, you'll feel inspired to take on your own English learning journey with a fresh perspective. Are you ready? Let's jump into today's story and discover how mistakes can actually be magic in disguise. Let's go. Talk like a native. Simple strategies for natural English. The stranger in a new land. Alex was a 22-year-old boy from a small village in Vietnam. He had big dreams. He wanted to see the world, learn new things, and make his family proud. One day, he got the opportunity of a lifetime, a scholarship to study in the United States. He was excited, but also very nervous. He didn't speak much English, and the thought of living in a foreign country scared him. When Alex arrived in New York City, everything felt overwhelming. The streets were crowded, the buildings were tall, and everyone seemed to be in a hurry. He felt like a small fish in a huge ocean. The first few days were tough. He struggled to order food, ask for directions, or even say hello without feeling embarrassed. His English was broken, and he often mixed up words. People would sometimes laugh or look confused when he spoke, which made him feel even more alone. One day, Alex decided to explore the city. He walked into a small coffee shop near his dorm. The smell of fresh coffee made him feel a little better. He stood in line, rehearsing what he would say in his head. When it was his turn, he nervously said, "One coffee, please." The barista, a young woman with a warm smile, asked, "What kind of coffee would you like?" Alex froze. He didn't know how to answer. He pointed at the menu and said, "This one." The barista, whose name tag said Emily, noticed his hesitation. She asked, "Is this your first time here?" Alex nodded shyly. Emily smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll help you." She patiently explained the different types of coffee and even taught him a few new words. Alex felt a little more confident. He ordered a latte and sat down at a corner table. As he sipped his coffee, Alex noticed a group of students sitting nearby. They were laughing and talking loudly. He wished he could join them, but he didn't know how to start a conversation. He felt invisible. like no one would ever notice him. Just then, Emily walked over and said, "Hey, do you want to join them? They're really friendly." Alex hesitated, but finally nodded. Emily introduced him to the group. "Guys, this is Alex. He's new here. Be nice." The students welcomed him with smiles and handshakes. Alex tried to say something, but the words got stuck in his throat. One of the students, a boy named Jake, said, "Hey man, don't worry. We've all been new at some point. Just relax and be yourself." That day, Alex learned his first important lesson. People are kinder than you think. He realized that even though his English wasn't perfect, people would still understand him if he tried. He also learned that making mistakes is okay. Every time he said something wrong, he got a little better. Life lesson from part 1. 1. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. Every time Alex messed up, he got a little closer to speaking naturally. 2. People are more understanding than you think. Most people will help you if you're kind and willing to try. 3. Start small. Alex didn't need to have a perfect conversation right away. He started with simple words and gestures, and that was enough. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. Don't worry. A common phrase to comfort someone. 2. Is this your first time here? A friendly way to start a conversation. 3. Just relax and be yourself, encouraging someone to feel comfortable. 4. We've all been new at some point. A way to show empathy and understanding. The power of friendship. After that day at the coffee shop, Alex started to feel a little more hopeful. He realized that even though he was far from home, there were people who cared about him. Jake, the student he met at the coffee shop, became his first friend in the US. Jake was easygoing and always made Alex feel comfortable. He didn't laugh at Alex's mistakes, but instead helped him correct them. One weekend, Jake invited Alex to a barbecue at his apartment. Alex was nervous. He had never been to an American party before. He didn't know what to expect or how to act. What if I say something wrong? He thought. What if no one likes me? But Jake reassured him, "Don't worry, man. It's just a casual hangout. You'll have fun." When Alex arrived at the party, he was greeted by a group of friendly faces. Everyone introduced themselves, and Alex tried his best to remember their names. At first, he stayed quiet, listening to the conversations around him. He noticed how people used casual phrases like, "What's up?" and "How's it going?" instead of formal greetings. He made a mental note to use these phrases later. As the evening went on, Alex started to relax. He even tried to join a conversation about sports. He didn't know much about American football, but he asked questions, and the others were happy to explain. One girl, Sarah, noticed his accent and asked, "Where are you from?" When Alex said Vietnam, her eyes lit up. "That's so cool. I've always wanted to visit Asia. What's it like there?" For the first time, Alex felt proud of where he came from. He told Sarah about his village, the food, and the festivals. She listened with genuine interest, and Alex realized that his story mattered. He didn't need to be perfect at English to share his experiences. He just needed to be himself. By the end of the night, Alex had made several new friends. They exchanged phone numbers and promised to hang out again. As he walked back to his dorm, Alex felt a warmth in his heart. He wasn't alone anymore. He had found a community. Life lesson from part 2. 1. Friendship is about being yourself. Alex didn't need to pretend to be someone he wasn't. His new friends liked him for who he was. 2. Ask questions. When Alex didn't understand something, he asked, and people were happy to explain. This helped him learn faster. 3. Your story matters. No matter where you're from, your experiences are valuable. Sharing them can help you connect with others. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. What's up? A casual way to say hello or how are you? 2. How's it going? Another informal greeting. 3. That's so cool. A way to show excitement or interest. 4. I've always wanted to. A phrase to express a dream or goal. A challenge of confidence. Even though Alex was making progress, he still struggled with confidence. There were times when he felt like he wasn't good enough. One day, his professor announced a group project in class. Alex was paired with 3 other students, Emma, Ryan, and Mia. They were all native English speakers, and Alex felt intimidated. During their first meeting, Alex stayed quiet. He was afraid of saying something wrong. Emma noticed and asked, "Alex, what do you think?" Alex hesitated but finally spoke up. I think we should focus on the main idea first." His voice was soft, and he stumbled over the words, but his teammates listened. Ryan nodded and said, "That's a good point. Let's do that." As the project went on, Alex started to contribute more. He realized that his ideas were just as valuable as anyone else's. One day, Mia said, "Alex, you're really good at organizing. Can you take the lead on this part?" Alex was surprised, but agreed. He worked hard and even stayed up late to prepare for their presentation. On the day of the presentation, Alex was nervous. He had practiced his part many times, but he was still worried about making mistakes. When it was his turn to speak, he took a deep breath and began. His voice was steady, and he made eye contact with the audience. When he finished, his teammates smiled and gave him thumbs up. The professor even complimented him on his clear and concise delivery. After class, Emma said, "Alex, you did amazing. I'm so proud of you." Alex felt a surge of pride. He had faced his fear and come out stronger. He realized that confidence wasn't about being perfect. It was about believing in yourself. 1. Your voice matters. Even if you're not perfect, your ideas and opinions are important. 2. Confidence grows with practice. The more Alex put himself out there, the more confident he became. 3. Teamwork is about supporting each other. Alex's teammates encouraged him, which helped him shine. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. What do you think? A way to ask for someone's opinion. 2. That's a good point. A phrase to agree with someone's idea. 3. You're really good at. A compliment to acknowledge someone's skills. 4. I'm so proud of you. A way to express encouragement and support. The turning point. As the months went by, Alex's English improved, but more importantly, his confidence grew. He no longer felt like the shy boy who couldn't order coffee without stuttering. He had friends, he was doing well in his studies, and he even started to enjoy the little things about living in a new country, like the changing colors of the leaves in fall and the smell of hot pretzels on the street corners. But life has a way of testing us, just when we think we've got it all figured out. One day, Alex got a call from home. His mother's voice was trembling. "Alex, your father. He's in the hospital. He had a heart attack." The words hit Alex like a punch to the chest. He felt his knees go weak, and he sat down on the edge of his bed, clutching the phone. Is he okay?" Alex asked, his voice shaking. His mother hesitated. "He's stable now, but it's serious. The doctors say he needs surgery." Alex's mind raced. He wanted to be there, to hold his father's hand, to tell him everything would be okay. But flights to Vietnam were expensive, and he had exams coming up. He felt torn between his responsibilities in the US and his love for his family. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He sat by the window, staring at the city lights. He thought about his father, a hard-working man who had always put his family first. Alex remembered the day His father had sold his motorcycle to pay for Alex's scholarship application. "You're going to do great things," his father had said, patting his shoulder. "Make us proud." Tears filled Alex's eyes. He felt guilty for being so far away, for not being there when his family needed him the most. But then he remembered something his father had always told him. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. The next morning, Alex made a decision. He called his professor and explained the situation. To his surprise, the professor was understanding. "Family comes first," she said. "Take the time you need. We'll figure out the exams later." Alex also talked to Jake and Emily, who immediately started a fundraiser to help him buy a plane ticket. Within days, they had collected enough money. When Alex arrived at the hospital in Vietnam, his father was asleep. His mother hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so glad you're here," she whispered. Alex sat by his father's bed, holding his hand. When his father woke up, he smiled weakly. "Alex, you came." "Of course I came," Alex said, his voice breaking. "You're my hero, Dad. I couldn't let you fight this alone." His father squeezed his hand. "You've made me so proud, son. Not because of your grades or your scholarship, but because of the person you've become." Life lesson from part 4. 1. Family is everything. No matter how far you go or how much you achieve, your loved ones are your anchor. 2. Kindness is universal. Alex's friends and professor showed him that people will help you if you let them. 3. Strength comes from love. Alex found the courage to face his fears because of his love for his father. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. Family comes first. A phrase to express the importance of family. 2. Take the time you need. A way to show understanding and support. 3. You've made me so proud. A heartfelt way to express pride in someone. 4. I couldn't let you fight this alone. A phrase to show loyalty and love. The journey home. Alex stayed in Vietnam for a month, helping his family through the difficult time. His father's surgery was successful, and he slowly started to recover. During those weeks, Alex realized how much he had changed. He was no longer the boy who was afraid to speak up. He was confident, compassionate, and resilient. When it was time to return to the US, his father said, "Alex, you've grown so much. I'm not just proud of your achievements, but of the person you've become. Remember, no matter where you go, you carry your roots with you." Back in New York, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. He started volunteering at a community center, helping other immigrants learn English. He shared his story with them, encouraging them to never give up. "It's okay to be scared," he would say, "but don't let fear stop you from chasing your dreams." One day, as he was walking through the city, Alex passed the coffee shop where he had first met Emily. He smiled, remembering how far he had come. He walked in and ordered a latte, this time without hesitation. Emily was still working there. When she saw him, she grinned. "Hey Alex, look at you, all confident and stuff. I'm so proud of you." Alex laughed. "Thanks, Emily. I couldn't have done it without people like you." As he sipped his coffee, he felt a deep sense of gratitude. Life wasn't perfect, it was beautiful in its own way. He had faced challenges, made mistakes, and learned valuable lessons, and through it all, he had discovered the power of connection, kindness, and perseverance. Final life lesson 1. Growth comes from challenges. Every struggle Alex faced helped him become stronger and wiser. 2. Give back to others. Alex found joy in helping others, just as others had helped him. 3. Your roots are your strength. No matter where life takes you, your background and experiences shape who you are. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. You've grown so much. A way to acknowledge someone's personal growth. 2. Don't let fear stop you. A phrase to encourage bravery. 3. I couldn't have done it without you. A way to express gratitude. 4. Life is beautiful in its own way. A phrase to appreciate the ups and downs of life. Conclusion: Alex's story is a reminder that life is a journey filled with ups and downs. It's not about being perfect, but about learning, growing, and connecting with others. Whether you're learning a new language, adapting to a new culture, or facing personal challenges, remember that you're not alone. Every step you take brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. The unexpected twist. Alex returned to the US with a heart full of gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. His father was recovering well, and the experience had brought their family closer than ever. Alex felt stronger, more confident, and ready to take on whatever life threw at him. But just when he thought things were settling down, life had one more surprise in store. One evening, as Alex was studying in his dorm, he received an email from the university's administration office. The subject line read, "Urgent Scholarship Review." His heart skipped a beat. He opened the email and read it quickly. It said that due to a clerical error, his scholarship was under review, and there was a chance it could be revoked. Alex felt a wave of panic wash over him. Without the scholarship, he wouldn't be able to afford his tuition. All his hard work, all his dreams, could come crashing down. He immediately called the administration office, but it was after hours and no one answered. He spent the night tossing and turning, his mind racing with worst-case scenarios. What if he had to drop out? What if he had to go back to Vietnam and leave everything he had built here? He felt like he was back at square one, helpless and scared. Next morning, Alex went to the administration office first thing. He explained his situation to the receptionist, who directed him to a counselor named Ms. Thompson. Ms. Thompson was a kind woman in her 50s, with glasses perched on her nose. She listened patiently as Alex explained his situation, his voice trembling with anxiety. "I understand how stressful this must be for you," Ms. Thompson said. "But don't worry. We'll figure this out. Let me look into it." She typed something on her computer and frowned. "It seems there was a mix-up with your documents. But don't worry, Alex. This happens sometimes. We'll get it sorted." Alex felt a glimmer of hope, but he still couldn't shake the fear. "How long will it take?" he asked. Ms. Thompson smiled reassuringly. "Give us a few days. We'll contact you as soon as we have an update." Those few days felt like an eternity. Alex tried to focus on his studies and his volunteer work, but the uncertainty weighed heavily on him. He confided in Jake and Emily, who did their best to cheer him up. "You've come this far, Alex," Jake said. "You're a fighter. Whatever happens, we've got your back." Finally, after what felt like forever, Alex received another email from the administration office. His hands shook as he opened it. The email said, "Scholarship reinstated." Alex let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. He read the rest of the email, which explained that the error had been corrected and his scholarship was safe. Not only that, but the university was also offering him a part-time job in the International Students Office to help others like him. Alex felt a surge of relief and gratitude. He immediately called his parents to share the good news. His father's voice was filled with pride. "I told you, Alex, you're destined for great things. Never doubt yourself." The final twist, a new opportunity. Just when Alex thought the roller coaster was over, something even more unexpected happened. A few weeks later, he received a letter in the mail. It was from a non-profit organization that supported immigrant students. They had heard about his story, how he had overcome language barriers, cultural differences, and personal challenges to succeed in a foreign country. They wanted to feature him in a documentary about resilience and the immigrant experience. Alex was stunned. He had never thought his story was special enough to be shared with the world. But as he read the letter, he realized that his journey wasn't just about him. It was about every person who had ever felt like an outsider, every person who had struggled to find their voice. By sharing his story, he could inspire others to keep going, no matter how hard things got. The documentary was filmed over the next few months. Alex shared everything: his fears, his mistakes, his triumphs. When it was finally released, it received widespread praise. People from all over the world reached out to Alex, thanking him for his honesty and courage. One message in particular stood out. It was from a young girl in Vietnam who wrote, "Your story gave me hope. If you can do it, so can I." Life lesson from part 5. 1. Life is full of surprises. Just when you think you've figured it out, something unexpected happens. But every challenge is an opportunity to grow. 2. Your story matters. No matter how ordinary you think your life is, it can inspire others in ways you never imagined. 3. Never give up. Even in your darkest moments, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Natural English phrases to learn. 1. We'll figure this out. A reassuring phrase to show that a problem can be solved. 2. You're a fighter. A way to acknowledge someone's strength and resilience. 3. You're destined for great things. A phrase to express belief in someone's potential. 4. Your story gave me hope. A heartfelt way to show gratitude and inspiration. The ending. A new chapter. Alex's journey didn't end with the documentary. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. He graduated with honors, got a job at a non-profit organization, helping immigrants, and continued to share his story wherever he went. He never forgot where he came from, and he always made time to visit his family in Vietnam. One day, as he was walking through the streets of New York, he passed the coffee shop where it all began. He smiled, remembering the scared boy who had once stood there, too nervous to order a cup of coffee. That boy was gone now, replaced by a man who had faced his fears, embraced his imperfections, and found his place in the world. As he sipped his latte, Alex thought about the twists and turns of his journey. Life wasn't always easy, but it was beautiful in its own way. And he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he was ready to face them, one step at a time. Final thought. Alex's story teaches us that life is a mix of joy and struggle, success and failure, fear and courage. But through it all, one thing remains constant: the power of human connection. Whether it's a kind barista, a supportive friend, or a stranger who believes in you, the people we meet along the way shape our journey in ways we can't always predict. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember Alex's story. Remember that every challenge is an opportunity, every mistake is a lesson, and every person you meet has the potential to change your life. If you enjoyed today's story and found it helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We've got so many more inspiring stories, practical tips, and fun lessons coming your way to help you master English and boost your confidence. And hey, if you're feeling extra motivated, leave a comment below and tell us, what's one mistake you've made while learning English, and what did you learn from it? We'd love to hear your stories and cheer you on. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, every step you take is progress, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. You've got this. Please subscribe because we work very hard to tell you those life lessons and interesting stories. Bye for now and take care.